Indiana man is accused of catfishing an Alaskan teenager and convincing her to murder her supposed best friend for $9 million with the help of four others. Months before the alleged hit job, 21-year-old Darren Shamiller pretended to be a Kansas multimillionaire named Tyler. Using a phony moniker and headshot, he apparently wooed Denali Bremer, 18, from nearly 4,000 miles away and solicited her to kill someone for him, according to court documents filed in Anchorage. Denali Bremer and five co-conspirators picked a target for the assassination, 19-year-old Cynthia Hoffman, who in the documents was described as Bremer's closest friend. Cynthia went by the name CC. Police say Bremer and Caden McIntosh, 16, lured Cynthia into a forest under the guise of going on a hike. But after the trio went off the path, Cynthia ended up bound in duct tape before McIntosh allegedly shot her in the head and dumped her in a river. The disturbing killing is also tied to a porn case filed against Shamiller, who is accused of persuading Bremer to create sexually explicit images and send to him. Last Friday, a grand jury indicted 6 people in Cynthia's slaying. Shamiller, Bremer, McIntosh, and 19-year-old Caleb Leland and 2 minors are charged with murder in the first degree, along with conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree and 2 counts of murder in the second degree. Bremer and Shamiller are charged also with solicitation to commit murder in the first degree. Bremer was indicted on 1 count and McIntosh on 4 counts of tampering with physical evidence. According to Alaska's Department of Law, the defendants face up to 99 years behind bars for each of the murder and conspiracy to commit murder charges and up to 5 years in prison for each of the tampering with physical evidence charges. Darren Shamiller, who is in FBI custody, will be extradited to Alaska. The murder plot was allegedly hatched soon after Bremer, who called herself Angel, and Shamiller started their online romance. Posing as Tyler from his home in New Salisbury in southern Indiana, Shamiller sent Bremer a fake photograph of himself. He does not look like the young man he portrayed himself to look like. He is not a millionaire, and he lives in Indiana. Weeks before Cynthia's murder, Shamiller and Bremer allegedly began to discuss raping and murdering someone in Alaska, a deed for which Tyler offered $9 million or more, so long as the killer sent him photographs or videos of the act. Bremer only learned she'd been catfished after the fatal shooting, authorities say. It's unclear if Shamiller knew Bremer's real name. Following Shamiller's solicitation, Bremer recruited 4 of her friends, including 2 juvenile defendants identified as Jane Doe and John Doe. The alleged killers gathered in May or early June of this year and all agreed to split substantial portions of the money for their roles in the execution. Cynthia Hoffman, who was allegedly best friends with Bremer, was selected by the group as the murder victim, court papers state. Cynthia's father, Timothy, told the Anchorage Daily News that Cynthia met Bremer at Service High School in Anchorage. The victim, who had a developmental disability, had described Bremer as her best friend, Timothy Hoffman said. According to Timothy Hoffman, his daughter's disability made her vulnerable, and she was intellectually at about a 7th grade level. Her dad said that her disability just made her want to have friends. That's all she wanted, was just for someone to be friends with her. At an initial court appearance for McIntosh early this month, Timothy Hoffman said he grew worried on Sunday, June 2nd, when Cynthia never checked in with him. The teen usually texted him every 3 hours while she was out. He described Cynthia as sweet and innocent and said she always tried to make him proud. She was studying in a post-high school life skills program and hoped to get her driving permit soon. According to her obituary, Cynthia had worked in restaurants but truly enjoyed being her dad's right-hand man in his handyman business. Bremer allegedly drove McIntosh and Cynthia out to the Thunderbird Falls Trail. They tied Cynthia's hands and feet with duct tape and also taped her mouth shut, according to court papers. Leland allowed Bremer and McIntosh to use his car to pick up Cynthia and carry out the slayings in Thunderbird Falls, prosecutors claim. Throughout the horrific incident, Bremer allegedly sent videos or photos to Shamiller. After the killing, Bremer texted Cynthia's family and claimed to drop her off at Polar Bear Park in Anchorage, and she deleted all her messages with Shamiller, court papers allege. Cynthia was reported missing the following day. Authorities discovered Cynthia's body in the creek on June 4th. Meanwhile, Shamiller was charged with production of child pornography, attempted receipt of child pornography in federal court in Alaska. An FBI agent's affidavit in support of a criminal complaint details how Cynthia's death led to a search warrant on Bremer's cell phone, which contained explicit images of children. Police obtained a second search warrant to look for evidence of sexual assault of a minor and photos and videos showing child porn. Shamiller was listed as Babe in the contact section of Bremer's phone, and the explicit photos were sent to him in text messages from June 2nd to June 4th, court papers alleged. During a June 7th police interview, Bremer informed police that Babe was a Kansas man named Tyler, the affidavit states. When detectives subpoenaed Verizon for Tyler's mobile account, they discovered the cell phone subscriber was an elder Shamiller based in New Salisbury, Indiana. Police then searched the phone number on Facebook Messenger and found an account for Darren Shamiller. Bremer told cops that Tyler directed her to sexually assault an 8 or 9-year-old and sent him videos of the assault. He allegedly directed her to also assault a 15-year-old. The FBI affidavit detailed sickening text messages between Bremer and Shamiller, who wrote, "Are you going to the 14-year-old?" Bremer replied in part, "Going to go buy weed first. I want to get her high for it so she doesn't fight me. I love you." Shamiller later texted Bremer, "I wish I never made a deal with you in the first place. We can meet, but once I see a cop, I'm telling him or her that I made you rape people and kill Cece." In 2018, according to the affidavit, authorities in Harris County, Indiana, identified Shamiller as a person of interest in another child pornography investigation. He was allegedly using the same phone number in that case, for which no charges were filed against him. Meanwhile, a charging document filed against McIntosh and published by Alaska Public Media details how Anchorage cops spoke with Bremer's mother on June 3rd. The mother said Bremer and a friend of Bremer's named Anthony were at her home the night of June 2nd. The pair allegedly told the woman that Anthony shot Cece in the head and dumped her in the water. In a June 4th interview with cops, Bremer allegedly stated that she, Cynthia, and McIntosh were smoking weed and driving around Anchorage before the murder. The three friends stopped at a parking lot near Thunderbird Falls and decided to play around in the woods, but Cece was bound by her ankles and wrists with duct tape. She also had gray duct tape placed over her mouth. However, Cece started to panic, the court filing states. Bremer and McIntosh removed the tape from Cynthia's mouth and hands, and she warned them she'd call the police and say they kidnapped her and sexually assaulted her, the complaint alleges. According to Bremer, McIntosh grabbed a 9mm handgun from Bremer's hand and shot Cynthia in the back of the head. Bremer said she thought the victim was trying to phone police as she lay wounded on the ground. Bremer said the victim was twitching before McIntosh shoved her into the creek, the complaint states. McIntosh ordered Bremer to text Cynthia's sister and fabricate a story about dropping her off somewhere, Bremer told police. Bremer claimed she complied with McIntosh because she feared him. Prosecutors say Shamiller admitted to being Tyler and to catfishing Bremer, who went by Angel. During an interview with federal agents in Indiana State Police on June 9th, Shamiller said he knew Bremer and Cynthia were best friends and that he and Bremer had planned the murder for about 3 weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, leave me your thoughts and opinions below in the comments section. This is such a sad story. Cynthia, known as Cece, just wanted friends. She had a learning disability, but she was taking some classes to learn how to do life skills and was going to get her driver's permit. And here, her so called friends murder her for some guy that they met online that's supposed to be rich. What a crazy story and what a sad story. I hope that they get the death penalty for this. I don't know if Alaska has the death penalty, so let me know in the comment section if you know the answer to that.